GTMreview.com here with the Retro Rampage podcast. It's been a little while since we spoke. I don't know when the last time... I don't know. What was the last topic we covered, Zach? Can't remember.
Star Fox.
Yeah, we haven't been on like a regular schedule with this stuff, and I know that's probably bad. It's a good way to alienate an audience and not build an audience further. But we've been doing other stuff. We've been doing a lot of commentaries, doing the regular Behind the Mask podcast and whatnot, which those are really good too. For definitely go check out that stuff. Been doing a lot of really fun movies and film reviews and stuff on the regular podcast. But while we don't do these on the regular, we do them whenever we feel like there's something that we want to talk about. I mean, I don't know. Maybe that's the way to go. I don't know how much if we had a show every week, I think we'd maybe not run out of stuff to talk about, but I think we'd start having to talk about stuff we didn't give a shit about, But lucky for us, it's like Christmas because it was E3. It's like there's all sorts of things you can talk about. And basically, for me, E3 was all broken up into... I mean, obviously, there's the argument of who won E3, Nintendo, Xbox or Sony, PS3. It's without a doubt Sony won overall. But the best game that they showed was Zelda. And I think that's kind of the common, agreement amongst people. Everybody's kind of saying the same thing. Like Sony dominated, but Zelda was like the overall hype train, right? But that's all Zelda. That's all Nintendo had. Other than that, I think they showcased like a new shitty Paper Mario game and just, other filler.
I like Paper Mario.
Yeah, but I hear the series has been going downhill.
Fuck you. No, I'm just joking.
It's like what they do with the Mario Party series and the Mario Tennis. It's like these new installments. They're, just shadows of what they used to be.
It's kind of what became of the Mario RPG game.
That's exactly what it was.
Yeah. Did you see that they had a sale? I got Mario or Paper Mario for
when?
64. It's still going on.
Oh, well, I've got money in my bank on the eShop because there's an anniversary sale, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and I was reading about that a week or two ago, but it was only for Europe, and I'm like, it has to happen for North America too. And I literally was looking it up a couple days ago online, and I still wasn't finding anything. I absolutely hate. Maybe it's for me. I mean, there's people out there that might comment and just say I don't know where to look or whatever, but I find that I never know what's going down on the eShop. I always miss sales. Like it's hard. I mean, obviously if I checked it every day, I don't, I would know, but it's not like the PSN, man. It seems like, the different websites broadcast what's going on sale on the PSN, what's going to be free, what's going to be discounted, but I never fucking know with Nintendo's. I never. And I get pissed off when I miss sales, right? I mean, I think they had a Donkey Kong themed sale last year that I missed, and I was pissed. And I still need Donkey Kong Country 2. And luckily I scored. They had when Link Between Worlds came out a couple years back. They had a Zelda themed eShop sale, and at least for the 3DS, and I just found that by chance. And
you can get a Link to the Past cheap now. It's on sale now. I got that.
Well, and if it's the same games that were listed for the Euro sale, I have most of them because it's most of the classics. They're good games, but it's like, of course, I already own all the classics, right? I need Paper Mario, so if that's on sale, I'll get that. But of course, I have Zelda. I don't know if it's the same there, but I think I noticed on the Euro, like literally, it's like I just bought all the fucking Metroids, and then they go on sale a couple weeks later. That's just the way it goes. But no, I'll check that out and definitely remind me before we're done talking tonight, so I don't forget. But yeah, as far as E3, Sony. Obviously, I really don't care about Microsoft. I never have. Obviously, you're talking about their new upgraded, Xbox. What's that called?
Xbox One S. Mm-hmm. It's like iPhone S, whatever.
What's the difference? Like, I mean,
I think it's just it's smaller and it can do 4K.
Oh,
I guess I didn't really look into it.
Well, I ignored it just because I'm just not a fanboy with that stuff. But I watched Sony, and Sony's was good. It was just really compressed, really condensed. Well, there was like no talking. it was just game trailer after game trailer after game. I like the way it was handled. You know, it was like, I think it was just a little over an hour, but it was just game trailer after game trailer. There's no fluff in there, no talking. And they had a live orchestra come in and score the thing. And their big games, obviously, they had God of War, which, did you see the God of War trailer at all?
Yeah.
That's very, very polarizing to me. It looks great. It looks like a really cool game. It's beautiful. As some people have pointed out, though, it looks like Last of Us. It looks like it was made by Naughty Dog. And really? Yeah, it really does. Because obviously, I don't know if they've been clear if it's an absolute like reboot or if it actually is canon. And the story of Kratos, I know, you know, he died or whatever, but is it really like the continuation of Kratos' story and he moved away and he's now in, you know, Norway, or he's now in that realm? It's a fantasy story, so I mean, everything's possible, I guess. And he had because he's older. That's what makes you think it is canon, because he's an older Kratos.
Yeah.
It seems to be like he has another son. Whatever. It looks really cool, but when you watch the game, they're doing the over the shoulder thing. The combat's totally different. I mean, this is not like, you know, this is a third person fixed camera game. And I don't know, it just doesn't seem like God of War. But yeah. I don't know.
Have you played all of the God of Wars?
I played the first 3. They're fucking great. I love them.
Yeah.
I love.
You know what? I never thought that any of the sequels were as good as the first one.
Really?
Yeah.
No, the third one's the best. You kidding?
Oh, really?
I played the first 2 back to back.
Yeah, see, I played them. I played the first one the day it came out, so I was waiting years in between playing them.
Wow, so you were was it that big of a hype thing for you? Like, you bought that first day? It wasn't established?
I remember playing the demo and thinking it was going to be awesome, and yeah, I got it the first day.
I was behind on it. There's
parts in it that are so fucking frustrating, though. The part where you're climbing out of hell, you're like climbing that thing that's rotating, and the spikes fucking hit you and you fall down.
And some of the lines are blurred for me on the first couple of games, because I played the first 2 back to back.
Yeah,
and they basically look the same, you know, just maybe some different like weapons and power ups and things but they look the same. I played them back to back when I literally got the God of War collection, right? Mm-hmm. And I think this was like 3 years ago. I finally, because my brother was obsessed with them. He loved them. And I finally, you know, cracked down. I never make time to really play newer games and stuff. And, I binged. I played the first one. I loved it. And then I loved it enough where I jumped right into the second one. Because I really liked the stories a lot. And, but the thing that blew me away was you play the first one and you clear it in like 8 hours, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, cool. So I know what to expect from the second one. I pop in the second one. The second one's way harder, and it's twice as long. Dude, it took me like fucking 16 hours to beat that one.
Yeah. I remember I tried to beat the first one on the hardest difficulty, and it was easy up until the last boss, and I never could beat him.
You never could beat 2?
I rage quit No, the first one, the hardest difficulty of it.
Oh. Yeah, but I never played them on the hardest difficulty. I was having fun just kind of like enjoying the game, you know. I didn't want it to be, because the puzzles were hard enough. That's where I got my difficulty, and that's fine. You know, I didn't need the combat to be too like frustrating or anything, but because it was gratifying, just kind of hacking and slashing, almost bombing in there for a second. And everybody, I mentioned on one of our other podcasts, if you notice my voice is it sounds like I'm on cocaine. I'm not on cocaine, because it's like I'm having these breathing issues lately, and I usually talk really fast, which I'm trying to work on that, but I can't do it now because I'll just, like I said, I will sound like I'm on coke. It'll sound like I'm, you know, hopped up on something. So I'm trying to keep it slow, but I'm having to take these intermittent breaths like I'm obese or something, and that's not the case. But something in the Arizona air. It's not valley fever. I've checked. But anyway, the game, it fired everywhere for me. I loved it. Like, I liked the puzzles. Those were the challenge. That's where I got stimulated challenge wise. I wouldn't want to get too. I mean, yeah, some of the bosses were hard, but it was cool. I thought, though, I don't remember if I played it on the easiest or if I probably played it on normal. I'm sure, just whatever the standard was, and those were gratifying to me. But yeah, the second one, man, like I had no idea. It was literally twice as long. Like I was not expecting that. You think they're all kind of in sync with each other. And then after I played both those back to back, I loved it, but I was a little burnt out. I'm like, okay, I don't want to play 3 right now. Cause that'd be a bit much. So honestly,
all I really remember about the third game is that it ends with a to be continued ending.
That type of thing.
Am I right? Or is that the second one? That might be the second one.
I don't remember. I mean, Kratos dies at the end of the third one from what I remember. I don't know. It's like I said, there's a bunch of blurred lines. Like once you play so many of those games, you kind of forget what happened in which ones. I just know in the third one you fight Zeus at the end. Mm-hmm. You got to kill Zeus. In the first one you actually fight the God of War himself, right?
Yeah.
Which god was that?
Ares.
And then in the second one, I think in the second one you fight Zeus too, right?
I think so, yeah.
You fight Zeus in the second one, you have to fight and kill him in the third one. But a year later, I was ready to dive into the third one. Dude, I don't know, my opinion, I think the third one is the best. It's so good. It's great. The third one's easier than the second one. They scaled back the because the second one's the hardest to me. I remember it being. But the third one's just a little bit easier. But man, it's got the best boss battles. The boss battles are so cool.
There was a fourth one, wasn't there?
There was God of War Ascension. Is that what it was? Which
I never played that.
I have it. And I've never played it.
Yeah,
and
I think it was a prequel.
Yeah, it was a prequel when he had his family and stuff, right?
Yeah,
and I don't know why I was turned off of playing it. Probably because of the reviews that it got. Because God of War 3 and 2, those were like those games that were getting like these perfect scores, right? Mm-hmm. 10s. And this one came out and it was kind of getting 7s and 8s. And I'm like, oh, and that's a pretty good game by anybody else's standards. I still want to play it. I should. I have way too much of a backlog and just not enough time to really dive into it. I got so many games that I've never even played. As far as new ones, especially. One of the games that I have been wanting to actually dig in and play for the longest time is 3D Game.Heroes. You know, It's supposed to be awesome. And my brother loves it. You know, it's a homage to Zelda. And you're familiar with it, right?
Yeah, I've heard of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's supposed to be so much fun and great and all this stuff. And I just can't sit down to commit myself to playing stuff. I bought the Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess HD. Still haven't opened it.
Cause you suck.
It's just I'm a grown up. I got a job and I do all this other stuff. But
fucking sell out.
You got old. No, I'm absolutely old. Talking about respiratory problems and everything. We were speaking of getting old. It's like for crying out loud. Before we started the podcast, we were talking about urination issues. You know. But no, those games are awesome. But the new one. They're just calling it God of War. I don't know if there's like a pending title, or I think it's just called God of War, which makes me sick. It's like, I'm tired of this. We got God of War 2017. We already have a God of War. And it's just going to be so confusing. I mean, we've talked about this with movies too. It's just...
And if they're already rebooting it, it's kind of like, why? It's not that old. Why don't they reboot something like the Legacy of Kain series or something that's been gone for a while?
But I think... I don't think there's anywhere else you can take that original story, so I understand it. So I mean, even if they were going to like sort of tell the story of a Kratos in a different dimension, like the Norway, you'd still give it a different title, you know? I could get behind that, but I mean, like I said, it's a fantasy story to begin with, so it's like I think it's going to be canon. He's older; it just makes sense. You know,
Are you sure he's older?
He looks older.
Huh. I saw that they got a different guy to do his voice.
Is it?
That's what I heard.
It doesn't sound like a different voice to me.
I guess it's just similar sounding.
Really?
I heard it was a new guy, though.
Why?
I don't know.
He looked older. Everybody's saying he looks older. And it's one of those things where, well, does he really look older, or is it just because the graphics are that much more realistic now?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. He's got a cool beard.
Yeah, and I think that's
supposed to jack off in it.
I think that's there'll be a virtual reality mission on that too. They kept introducing like little virtual reality side mission games you can buy for all these different games. If you're lucky, Zach, they'll add one for the new God of War where you can jerk off in his beard.
That'd be awesome.
But Yeah, I don't know. To me, he looks older. I think the beard's supposed to be a tip to the nose. Like, yeah, he's older. We'll just give him a beard. He's got sort of an older, crookeder nose, because the nose always grows still. And I don't know. That's just what I took from it. I hope it's canon. I think they could do it. Either way, I think they should have called it something else. I think it's confusing. I think it's stupid. Especially where we're in this age. We're in this day and age where you can't even call something, well, this is God of War PS4. They keep re-fucking mastering and re-releasing these old games on every system. It's ridiculous. It's like, so we could hypothetically have 2 God of Wars on the same console. It just gets confusing. I sounded like Bill Clinton for a moment there. Because the way I talk today, I'm doing my thumb when I say that. But
the little thumb, the tiny thumb.
The little thumb. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. But it looks like a good game. It looks really cool. It's beautiful. It just looks like The Last of Us. And then when you kind of get some of those big open scapes, like at the end, you see the dragon flying through the air and you see the background. Then it kind of looks like Skyrim. I'm like, okay, but whatever. I'll give it the benefit of the doubt. It's like, again, it's got a pretty good record with me so far. So it's like, I'll take a leap of faith on it. But yeah, so God of War, I don't know. I don't know if I'm excited about it. I think I'm just polarized by it. Resident Evil 7 is a whole different can of worms, but we're going to talk about that one, on the next episode, which, we release these in pairs. So you don't have to really wait. But in the meantime, let us know what you think about the new God of War game. Go ahead and let us know what you think about E3 in general. And what do you think the highlights were? Probably something from the Sony camp. There's a lot of stuff there. But let us know what you think, what your opinions are. And as of the time of this recording, I don't think they have given us much information on God of War. If it's like a reboot, if it's canon, or if he's older, or what's going on. But fill us in if we're stupid and we just don't know, or what you think about it, or what you think of us. By all means, btmreview.com, iTunes, YouTube, and all those places. But definitely check out our. We've been doing a lot of film commentaries lately. So anybody that listens to these and maybe hasn't perused the entire channel and checked out the other stuff we do on the YouTube, they're all there. On iTunes, it's under Behind the Mask podcast. A lot of fun commentaries where we basically are trying to relive and bring back Mystery Science, Theater 3000 or whatever. But no, they're great, and obviously the regular podcast, definitely check that out. The most recent podcast we did was a couple days ago. It's about The Conjuring 2. So anybody that likes movies, horror films, check that out. Leave us feedback. And, I think the last commentary we did was a Pauly Shore movie. That's not what to expect all the time. We've done obscure B movies. We've done horror movies. We've done exploitation. But it just happens to be Pauly Shore this time. But I swear there's other good things in there.
The shore exploitation.
The shore exploitation. But check us out, and we'll catch you guys next time. I'm Aaron.
I'm Zach.
Adios.